Welcome to Health Medical School. Today we are discuss about female reproductive system. A biactive at the end of this unit learner will be able to define female reproductive system, categorize the female reproductive organs into essential organs, accessory organs, discuss the location and structure of female external genitalia, vulva. Describe the location, structure and function of female internal genitalia, discuss the female reproductive cycles, ovarian and menstrual. Female reproductive system. The female reproductive system is a group of organs that work together to enable reproduction, pregnancy, and childbirth. It also produces female sex hormones, including estrogen and progesterone. Female reproductive system. The organs of the female reproductive system include the ovaries, female gonads, the uterine fallopian tube, or oviduct, the uterus, the vagina, and external organs which are collectively called the vulva or pudendum. The main mammary gland are considered part of both integumentary system and female reproductive system. Fallopian tube, ovary, uterus, ovarf, endometrium, mvometrium, cervix, vagina. Function of the female reproductive system. The ovaries produce secondary ovoids and hormones, including progesterone and estrogens, female sex hormones, inhibin and relaxin. The uterine tubes transport a secondary oocyte to the uterus and normally are the site where fertilization occurs. The uterus is the site of the implantation of a fertilized ovum, development of the fetus during pregnancy and labor. The vagina receives the penis during sexual intercourse and is a passageway for childbirth. The mammary glands synthesize, secrete and eject milk for nourishment of the newborn. Ovaries. The ovaries, which are the female gonads, are paired glands that resemble to unshelled almond in size and shape. They are homologous to testes. Each ovary consists of germinal epithelium, tunica albuginea, ovarian cortex, ovarian medulla. Ovaries. Females are born with all of the eggs they will ever produce. Ovaries alternate the release of eggs each month. Like testes, the ovaries produce hormones estrogen. This release of the ova is called ovulation. Uterine tube. Female have two uterine, fallopian tube, or oviduct that extend laterally from uterus. The tubes, which measure about 10 centimeters, 4 inch, long, lie between the folds of the broad ligaments of the uterus. They provide a route for sperm to reach an ovum and transport secondary oocytes and fertilized ova from the ovaries to the uterus. Uterine tube. The funnel-shaped portion of each tube called infundibulum and end finger-like projection called fimbriae. The ampulla of the uterine tube is the widest, longest portion. The isthmus of the uterine tubes is the more medial, short, narrow, thick wall portion that join the uterus. The uterus serve as part of the pathway for sperm deposition in the virginal to reach the uterine tubes. It also the site of implantation of a fertilized ovum, development of fetus during pregnancy. During reproductive cycles, when implantation does not occur, the uterus is the source of menstrual flow. Uterus, situated between the urinary bladder and rectum. The uterus is the size and shape of an inverted pear. It is about 7.5 centimeters, 1 inch. Anatomically, subdivision of the uterus include a dome-shaped portion superior to the uterine tube called fundus, adipering central portion called the body, and the inferior narrow portion called the cervix. Between the body of the uterus and cervix is the isthmus constricted region, 1 centimeter, half an inch, long. The interior of the body of the uterus is called uterine cavity. Vulva. The term vulva or pudendum refer to external genitals of the female. Anterior to the vaginal and urethral opening is the mons pubis. From the mons pubic, two longitudinal folds of skin, the labia majora. Medial to the labia majora are two smaller folds of the skin called the labia minora. The clitoris is a small cylinder mass of erectile tissue and nerves. Vestibular Bartholin glands. Perineum. The perineum is the diamond-shaped area medial to the thighs and buttocks of females. It contains external genitals and anus. Female external genitalia. Mons pubis, clitoris, prepuce, labia minora, urethral orifice, labia majora, vagina, anus. Summary of homologous structure of the female and male reproductive system. Female structures. Ovaries, ovum, labia majora, labia minora, vestibule, vulva, vestibule, clitoris, paraurethral glands, greater vestibular glands. Male structures. Testes, sperm cell, scrotum, urethra, membranous urethra, penis and bulb of penis, glans penis, prostate, bulba urethral, Cooper glands. Human reproductive system. Male organs: bladder, urethra, penis, testicle, epididymis, Seminal vesicle. Prostate. Vasturierans. Female organs. Fallopian tubes. Uterus. Ovary. Endometrium. Fimbriae. Ovary. Cervix. Vagina. Mammary glands. The mammary gland is a highly evolved and specialized organ present in pairs, one on each side of the anterior chest wall. The organ's primary function is to secrete milk. Though it is present in both sexes, it is well developed in females and rudimentary in males. It is also a vital accessory organ of the female reproductive system. Female reproductive cycles. The follicular phase. FSH stimulates the development of several follicles in the ovary. Usually only one of these follicles matures. This dominant follicle produces estrogen, which causes the endometrium to start to thicken. It also causes the mucus in the cervix to become thinner and more stretchy, allowing sperm to reach the egg more easily. Female reproductive cycles. Ovulation. Estrogen levels that have been gradually increasing, peak. The LH levels increase rapidly, day 12 onwards, triggering the release of the egg from the ripened follicle, which usually occurs 36 hours after the onset of the LH surge. Female reproductive cycles. The luteal phase. The levels of FSH and LH decrease. The ruptured follicle closes, after releasing the egg, and forms a corpus luteum, which produces progesterone. This prepares the endometrium even further, ensuring it is spongy, thick and full of nutrients so that a fertilized egg can implant into it. If the egg is not fertilized, the corpus luteum starts to degenerate and progesterone and estrogen levels start to fall. The endometrial blood vessels constrict and the endometrium breaks down and is shed as a period, menstruation. The length of the follicular phase can vary between women. However, the duration of the luteal phase is fairly constant, being 14 days in most women. The first day of the period is counted as day 1 of the cycle. The cycle runs from the first day of menstruation to the next first day. Female reproductive cycles. Menstrual cycle. Ovariant. Follicular phase. Ovulation. Luteal phase. Progesterone. Estradiol. Female reproductive cycles. Follicle. Development. Ovuatier. Corpus luteum. Endometrium. Flow phase. Follicular phase. Luteal phase. Ovulatory phase. The menstrual cycle. References. Tortora J. D. Durkison, B. Principle of Anatomy and Physiology, 11 ed., USA John Williams Son. Thank you. Subscribe for more videos.